Hi and welcome to the Staffs County League roundup for Saturday the 15th of March. In the semi-final of the Staffs FA Vars between Ball Green and Woolstanton, it was the latter who picked up an impressive 2-0 victory to book their place in the final. Sean Fuller opened the scoring for Woolstanton in the first half, and the game was sealed in the second half when Mark Grice fired home. Stephen Hill scored a late extra-time goal in the semi-final of the President's Trophy against Bradwell to book their place in the final with a 4-3 win. The scores were level at one apiece at the end of the first half as Jordan Stevens scored his first of the afternoon before Tim Bowyer replied instantly for Bradwell in this bit of a tense semi-final clash actually. Stephen Hill took the initiative in the second half with Jordan Stevens scoring his second of the game and Scott Walkman adding a further goal to seemingly end the tie. Bradwell, however, hadn't read the script, and two quick fire goals from Jordan Burrows and Scott O'Brien sent the tie into extra time. The game was seemingly heading towards penalties before Jordan Stevens completed his hat-trick in the 120th minute to win this pulsating tie. In the Premier Division, a first half goal for Audley completed a 1-0 victory over Redgate Clayton to move them within 3 points of second place Woolstanton. It was Matt Barlow who struck for the home side to help them secure the vital win, which keeps them in a good position to maintain a challenge for the runners-up spot. Eccleshall and Cheadle Town played out a 2-2 draw after a hard-fought game that saw them pick up a point each. The sides went into break level at 1-1 thanks to goals from Adam Jones for Eccleshall and Sam Gavin for Cheadle. Eccleshall scored what looked to be the likely winner when Dan Jones netted, but a late equaliser by Dan Rooksies for Cheadle saw the teams consolidate each of their positions in the table. Kidsgrove gained a hard-fought 1-0 victory over the league's bottom side, Keele Uni, to maintain their steady mid-table position. A strike from Dan Heller was enough to seal the 3 points and leave Keele in a world of trouble at the foot of the table. In a tense and tight game between Newcastle Town and Alsager Town, the game finished goalless, but Newcastle will be left to rue a missed penalty which cost them the opportunity to snatch all 3 points. I spoke to Wayne Mountford, the Newcastle manager, and he just said it was a poor performance. The point for Alsager, however, sees them move slightly closer to safety, but drops Newcastle down to 8th position. Norton United came from a goal down in the first half against Hilton Harriers to obtain a point thanks to a 2-2 scoreline. Scott Abbey gave Hilton a perfect start in the first half with a cool finish to send the away side 1-0 up at the break. However, the game was turned on its head by Norton when Ryan Dawson and Aaron Johns netted to put Norton 2-1 up. Hilton pressed for the much needed equaliser, and it came when Jamie Flight headed home to move Hilton above Florence and into 14th place, while Norton staying 4th. Florence, for their part, picked up an important 3-1 victory over Leek Town to move up to 15th and away from the foot of the table for now. A goal in the first half for Florence and 2 more in the second half was enough to see off Leek, who managed a late consolation goal. Leaders Uttoxeter Town came from 2 goals down against Hanley Town to secure a 2-2 draw, a result which keeps them in pole position for the league title. Hanley made the perfect start as they went into the break 2 goals up thanks to strikes from Mark Lawton and Alex Wright. However, the second half goals from Matt Redshaw and Martin Gadsby for Uttoxeter ensured Hanley would not be leaving with at least a share of the points. The result keeps Uttoxeter 9 points clear at the top. In Division 1, a tight affair between Abbey Hulton and MMU, and the points were shared in a 0-0 draw, and that must be cursed. Snippets on the screen here from the game, and it's for the second week in a row I picked a 0-0 draw to go to. The point, however, leaves Abbey lurking just above the foot of the table, whereas MMU would be looking to capitalise on their games in hand, and they're looking to claim the league title. Ashbourne picked up an impressive 4-0 win over mid-table Redgate Clayton to move within 1 point of their rivals. Foley picked up a comfortable 2-0 victory over the league's bottom side, Sandbach, to consolidate their mid-table position. The loss for Sandbach leaves them in a perilous position at foot of the table, and they face a big last few months of the season. Congleton kept up their pursuit of Bradwell in 5th place thanks to a 1-0 victory over Betley. After a goalless first half between the sides, a second half strike from Cook sealed the win for Congleton as they keep the heat up on the top 5. A first half goal fest between Cheadle SMU and Brereton Social saw Cheadle come out 3-1 winners at the break. First half goals from Stuart Hanna, Joe Price and Danny Bloor for Cheadle put them in a comfortable position, but goals from Stephen Allen just before half time for Brereton gave them a glimmer of hope. So different in the second half. After a goalless second half, it ensured that Cheadle came away with all 3 points. Hull Heath picked up an important 4-0 victory over Milton's rivals Milton United as they moved further away from trouble at the bottom of the division. A first half goal from Burns set Hull Heath on their way, and a second half brace from Walton and a single Mead strike completed the well-earned win. Featherstone maintained their position at the top of the Division 2 table thanks to a comfortable 4-0 victory over mid-table Cheadle Town. The home side went into the break 2 goals up thanks to a sub-low brace, and further strikes from Pugh and O'Meara in the second half ensured Featherstone would remain 13 points clear at the top. Hawkins Sports held up a late bite back to secure a vital 4-3 victory against Betley Reserves. The teams went in level at the break after Jack Bevan bagged a brace for Hawkins and Richard Owen did likewise for Betley. Hawkins grabbed the initiative in the game when Mitchell Royster netted a second half brace to seal the points. However, Betley never came in and made it extremely nervous for the home side when Jake Smith nodded home, but Hawkins held on for the all-important 3 points. Whittington defended well late on to pick up a hard-earned 3-1 away victory at Hilton Harriers. It was Whittington who stormed into a 2-goal lead thanks to a brace from Luke Ruffley. Hilton worked hard and grabbed a goal back in the second half thanks to Jack Moulin, but Whittington held on for the 3 points, which sees them move 4 points clear of Cheadle, who sit in 6th place. League CSOB cruised to a home 5-0 win over LAFC, and they move up 4 places in the process into 8th. Zach Barker scored the only goal of the first half of the league, but second half goals from Sam Chorner, Kieran Butler, Jack Davis and Jimmy McNullen sealed the win over LAFC, who now sit second bottom. Uttoxeter Town Reserves warmed up for the Division 2 League Cup final with a 2-1 away victory at rivals Longton. Uttoxeter dominated the first half, and it was paid off as Tom Harvey and Matt Wayne scored to put them in a commanding position. Danny Keane bagged for Norton, but Uttoxeter held on for the win to keep up the heat on the top 3. In a pulsating game between Stone Old Iranians and Longton Adley Green, it was 3rd place Longton who edged Stone by 4 goals to 3. Longton went into the break 2-1 up after Dave Otley netted a brace and Adam Tompkinson replied with Stone. Longton had seemingly wrapped the game up when Matt Coxfield and Dean Jackson struck to make it 4-1 to the home side. But the home side threatened a comeback as Nick Buckley scored a quick-fire brace, but Longton held on for an important victory. Milton United consolidated their mid-table position thanks to a comfortable 2-0 victory over bottom side Tunstall Town. A goal in each half for Danny Powell was more than enough for Milton to claim 3 points and leave Tunstall 10 points adrift at the bottom of the table.